Welcome back everybody to Orange Track Outlaws. Today we're going to be tackling our Three Blind Mice 50's challenge. We are going to work on this 57 Chevy Bel Air hot rod. I got a pretty good plan set for this thing. Fancy new paint job. I do have a really cool custom edition. I am going to try to put some working headlights in here. I'm going to do a wheel swap. I'm going to do custom interior. I'm going to do the whole works. So hope you guys enjoy the video here, and let's get started with our 57 Chevy project. So here she comes on our custom hauler, bringing in our 57 Chevy Bel Air hot rod. I have mixed feelings about this casting. I think it's pretty cool. I do like the open engine. Plastic base I think is just, it's pretty plain. Some of the body lines I'm not too happy with. The fender wells, the rear fender wells are supposed to be a lot shallower. I really would have liked to do something a little more original, but since this is hot rod style, I'm going to keep that as is and go with it. So first thing we're going to do, drill the post out like usual, get this car apart, see what we got to work with. Drill pilot holes down the post. Come in after that with your bigger drill bit and buzz off the mushroom heads there on the post so you can pry this thing apart. Then let's get your little screwdriver, just pry that chassis off a little bit, and car should just come right apart here. Yeah, not really a big deal. This seemed like a pretty cheap way to put this thing together with the plastic base, and the wheels weren't even in there very well. Chrome interior is terrible. We're gonna go ahead and get the engine out here. There's another post in there, just gotta drill that thing out. That engine will pop out of there. Pretty simple. So get a look at our casting here. Overall, not in too bad a shape. So next step here, like I said, we are going to try to put some working headlights in here. So we're going to take our center punch, and we're going to hit the middle of these headlights a couple times with this, and we got to drill these headlights out so our little LED lights will fit in there. So we're gonna hit the center punch a couple times, just like drilling the post. We're gonna take a small drill bit, drill out a nice little pilot hole, and then come in with the bigger bit and clear out the rest of that material so that the light will fit in there. Pretty easy part of the headlight build. I wish making working headlights was as easy as just drilling these holes out, but doing the headlights, if you ever done these, they look really cool, but man, they're a pain in the butt. So we're just going to take our time. Drill a nice little hole here for the pilot hole. If you want to, you can put a little lube on there so it doesn't get so hot, but if you take your time and go slow, it should go nice and smooth. If you speed the drill up, you're just going to create a lot of heat, and you don't need that. But I've got our pilot holes set up here. It's pretty well straight, pretty in the middle. I'm going to take our bigger bit and just buzz these out here real quick. I guess if you got a good bit, it don't take much to get that thing out of there. You just want to kind of ream the hole a little bit, at least especially on the inside. You do gotta, there's a little rim around around the base of the LED light, you can either snip that thing off. If not, you're gonna have to make a little room inside that body so that thing can slide through your headlight holes. But other than that, here's a look at the little LED lights that I'm going to be using. Used them a couple times on some other projects, and they actually fit and look really cool. They fit right in there, and they've got a rounded head on them, so they actually look like headlights. So I like using them. Like I said, though, they're a pain to solder up and work it all in there, but they seem to be fitting. So next thing we're going to do is send our body into the sandblast booth, get that cleaned up. So here's a look at our body after we blasted it, cleaned it up. Since there's not much else for body work, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some primer sealer and get this thing ready for some paint. So first coat, primer sealer, nice easy tack coat like usual. Get your fender wells real good, get all your little nooks and crannies around the bumper and engine bay, and around your door trim and all that good stuff. Nice easy coat for the first one. Second coat here coming in, just layer it up a little bit more. No need to just blast the heck out of it, and obviously we don't want any runs or water spots or air spots on there. So two easy coats. I'm going to come in here with the third one and just finish it up. Not a lot of divots or pitting or anything on the body that needs heavy cover. So it should be nice and smooth here after this coat, and pretty well ready for paint. So pretty much got our primer done. While that's drying, we're gonna since we got primer going, we're gonna take a look at our interior. I cleaned the chrome off with some super clean. It ended up being clear, so we're gonna hit this with some primer sealer too to get it covered up. We're gonna do a little bit of a whitish interior with some I'm gonna use some red paint for the body, so I'm going to put some red highlights in the interior. So I'm going to hit this a couple times with our sealer, get it all covered up so we can start doing some details on it. So just continuing on here with the interiors and the bases. I found lighter's better. So next up here is our painting our body. I've already got the first tack coat done of our opaque red. We're going to go ahead and put another coat or two on here of our opaque red. We're going to try and give it just a nice red base coat before we start laying down our candy pearl mixture. So we want to make sure we have a nice solid base under there for it. So looking at our base, it's all red, it's looking good. I'm going to start mixing up the candy pearl here, which we're going to start off with a little pearl red. That's going to be the majority of it. We're going to put a little bit of candy blood red in there to bring the candy part out. We're going to throw some hot rod sparkle in there. Fancy it up. Going to put some 40-30 in there and some 40-12. Normal procedure there. Here's a little look at what the paint looks like. You can see that hot rod sparkle in there, glowing in the light. So we're going to start spraying this thing, see how it turns out. As usual, light coat over everything. You want good coverage, but you don't want to it's not quite time to lay it on real thick just yet. So one coat there, you can see in the light, the hot rod sparkle is already getting picked up. It's looking really good. I'm going to move in here with our second coat. Layer on just a little heavier. Make sure you get it covered everywhere, get everything nice and even, and then you can really start to see it shining. You can see some of that hot rod sparkle in there. You're really going to be able to see that sparkle and that pearl when the clear goes on. So here we go with our third coat. I think this is going to be enough for now. I am going to paint some racing stripes on here and put a little fade on. So candy pearl mid coat here for coat 3. I think this will be enough. It's really going to look sweet. Look at there in the light. You can see the hot rod sparkle getting picked up. You can see a little bit of that pearl. Looks cool. So what I did here, since we're going hot rod style, I'm going to put some racing stripes on the top and down the side, and I'm going to take a little blood red and a little dirt track brown candy, and I'm going to mix those together, and I'm going to create a little candy fade from the back towards the front. See if I can't get this thing to look pretty cool. So I'm going to start off with our candy mixture here, and you know, for the fades you gotta start off going light, and try to work your way, you know, towards the front or the middle or wherever you want the fade to stop. But you know, I'm going to shoot straight on for the back. That's going to be you know, our deepest color, and I'm going to start working the sides and the roof at about a 45 degree angle at best, or less, and try to mist that candy over you know, over the sides and over the top, and I want it to fade to about the middle. So that's a goal. You can see after one coat there, you see the rear starting to get a little darker. You can still see the sparkle come through, but I'm really looking for a darker rear. I want a pretty prominent fade, something you can really tell. So I'm going to go in here with another coat, layer the back up pretty good. I think after this coat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tape off so you can see the racing stripes, and then I'm going to throw another layer or two of our candy fade mixture, and give the racing stripe its own lighter fade. So hopefully this thing turns out cool. So you can see the back is getting a lot darker. I think the fade is really starting to show now. It's really starting to pop. So it looks like I got my tape off. You can see the racing stripes on there, but see it's red from front to back. It's all the same color. So I'm going to throw about 2 coats. I'm going to mist our candy mixture over top of that, just to try to, you know, tone the stripe down in the back a little bit and give the stripe its own fade. So this card is really starting to take shape. I'm liking how it's looking. It's starting to pop. I can't wait to get some clear on there. But that thing's looking sweet. We're going to go one more coat here, I think. Try to darken up the back just a little bit more. Put a little bit of that candy over the rear racing stripe. Check the fade out all the way around. Make sure it's what I'm looking for. I like where it's sitting right now. So I think this is probably going to be about it. I'm going to let this thing dry overnight or so, for a day or two. and I'm going to come back over it with 3 or 4 coats of some 2K clear. That thing's looking sweet, real sweet. Alright, so moving on here. I got the body all clear coated out. What we're going to do here is we're going to attempt to tackle the headlights. It's a pain in the butt job, but that's what it's going to look like with our headlights in there. It's going to look cool. You can see I got my chassis there. I did cut a little hole out in the bottom. That's where our on-off switch is going to be mounted. I'll super glue that guy in there once I get the wires all soldered in. And the bay, or the chassis, you can see I put a coat of gloss black on that, and I got the chrome pen out. Did the front and rear bumpers in the chrome, did the side pipes in the chrome. It went ahead and did that while our paint was drying. And I actually have our axle tubes cut and glued in there already also. So there's a look. There's a look, a little bit of the wiring that's involved. That's a battery holder. I went ahead and soldered this all up and got it all mounted off camera. If I had it on camera, all you'd really be seeing would be my hands working, because it's so technical and hands-on there. But you can see I turned the lights on, everything's working. The on-off switch is working, lights are powered up. So next thing we're gonna have to do here is get our wheels mounted in, and we've got to figure out how to tuck all that wiring down underneath the interior in the body to get this thing to go together. But normal procedure on mounting the wheels. Like I said, I already had our axle tubes glued in, notched out and glued in. So all we got to do is cut our axles in half there on the for the wheels, and stick each side in there one at a time. Make sure they're spaced off the axle tube just a little bit so they spin freely, and hit the little notch that we cut out with a little super glue. And I like to use a little bit of the super glue, the activator, to help speed the dry time along so I can keep working. So just takes just a little dab of super glue in them tubes to keep the axles in place. But as long as the wheel's still free spin, you should be good. So here's the little activator. That'll dry quick. Everything's rolling right. Looks good, looks straight. And move on to the front wheels. Same thing. Basically slide your axles in the tubes. Check your spacing and glue them in. Pretty well got this thing about handled with the wheels. Got the fronts glued in now. I'm gonna hit them with our activator, and it's usually pretty quick getting them things dried out. I think the wheels look sweet. This is going to be a pretty cool hot rod. It rolls freely. All the wheels are okay. So I did put it together off camera because it's such a pain to smash all that together. But here's a quick look at what we started with. This is a yellow 57 Chevy Bel Air hot rod. So full strip down, new paint job, new interior paint job, new chassis paint job, working headlights coming up, wheel swap with some real rider racing wheels. This finished project just looks sick. I think you guys are really gonna like it. I know I like it. So without further ado, here's a look at our finished 57 Chevy Bel Air hot rod, custom candied pearl paint job, nice fade. We got the racing stripe fade, custom interior, custom wheels. This thing's got working headlights, which I'll show you these things. I'll turn them on for you. You can see them, see that they actually do work. So here we are, working headlights and everything. This is a wicked cool car. It turned out great. I'd like to thank the Three Blind Mice for putting on another cool challenge. Please check out my other 50s challenge. It's a 1950 Chevy truck, heavily modified into like a flatbed semi. So thank you guys. Hope you like what you saw here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you do. And like I said, check out my other Three Blind Mice challenges. Check out all the other guys' videos. And I will see you on the next one. See you later.